Why is all of a sudden, out of the blue, a conversation that Joe Burrow is about to try and pull an Eli Manning in the draft? That he doesn't want to go to Cincinnati. Family doesn't want him going to Cincinnati. They would like to move on from Cincinnati before Cincinnati moves in their direction. Our friend DP, who's before us, has interviewed Carson Palmer at the Super Bowl last week, and Carson said the Bengals don't want to win Super Bowls. It's not what they're built to do. I guess they're built to just get revenue for the Brown family and try and win as many games as they can. But they don't build to try. They're not built culturally to win a Super Bowl. And Carson Palmer's brother is the throwing coach for Burrow.
Correct.
Now, what did Burrow's dad say that has lent more fuel to this fire that Burrow is going to use the next 2 some odd months to make sure he doesn't wind up in Cincinnati? What do we got here?
He has basically just said they're thankful that Joe is being considered as a high draft choice.
Not as the number 1 overall draft choice.
Right.
So people are reading into all that. And it's interesting. It's interesting that you think Joe wouldn't want to be number 1 overall because it's the Bengals. But I'll tell you this. They better be careful.
The Burrows or the Bengals?
The Burrows. They better be careful. They're kind of playing, because if they really don't want him to go to Cincinnati, they're playing it kind of right now. Because if they come out and flat out say they don't want to go there, that would essentially lock in the fact that he's going.
Is this a spite pick?
Sort of like a spite store next to Mocha Joe's?
Exactly.
No. You're dealing with a different stripe of a cat with Cincinnati. They would basically now say, you're coming here, and guess what? You want to sit out for a year? We're willing to just flush the first overall pick down a toilet.
Oh, could you imagine?
Look, the last time the Bengals apparently didn't take somebody because they told them, don't draft me. Back in a different era where holdouts were kind of a whole different ball of wax. Mm-hmm. I believe that was a 1994 draft, if I'm not mistaken.
Let me check here.
When one individual from down a little south from here in San Diego,
94,
who dominated for the Aztecs, San Diego State's finest, our good friend Marshall Faulk, said, don't draft me. And they took Big Daddy Wilkinson instead. How did that work out?
Not great.
Now, look, let's take the opposite of it. What if they do blink and they do take Chase Young?
Which, by the way, great pick.
Who's going to trade up for Joe Burrow?
Everyone.
You think?
Carolina first up.
Because of Joe Brady.
Yes. And Matt Rule. These two guys want a dynamic young quarterback.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine if that happens and then Cam becomes a draft night availability?
Oh, baby.
What happens then? Does Carolina shock all of us here? And maybe this is what the Burrows would be driving at. Maybe Carolina shocks everybody here and gives like a Ricky Williams type ransom to Cincinnati. Now we're talking, right?
Yeah, I'm here for that.
But if this is one of those things where the Bengals are, they haven't said anything yet. I mean, nobody's really said anything
No,
yet.
this is all kind of.
This is all.
Yeah, this is dot connecting. This is breadcrumb picking up. It started with Palmer saying the Bengals weren't interested in winning Super Bowls.
Right.
And then the Burrows hire his brother to train him. and then Joe saying he wanted to play for a team committed to winning Super Bowls, and then Houshmandzadeh's involved.
Well,
and then the Bengals saying they're not necessarily taking a quarter.
How is Houshmandzadeh involved? Where he's associated.
He started working out with Joe Burrow as well.
Okay, and he's basically said that Cincinnati should look for a big haul.
Right. They should strongly consider gigantic trade offers.
It's everybody who's kind of in the Burrow orbit saying publicly whenever there's a microphone in front of them, you know what the Bengals should do? The Bengals should really look elsewhere. Right. And everybody's assuming all that. But
Joe himself isn't saying, I want to be the number one pick. That's all that matters to me.
But if the Bengals think Joe Burrow is their guy, there is no amount of passive aggressivity the Burrows could, or anybody in his orbit, employ to shake him off it. And if they then, towards the end, go full Archie Manning, I would just essentially lock it in stone. That boat ride he takes to the red carpet.
Yeah. At the Bellagio fountain.
Right.
Yep.
If he doesn't want it to happen, that's his chance to go escape. Like literally jump off. Jump off and turn it into like Ocean's 14 and poof, gone. Like Kaiser Soze. That's his last shot because he'll be a Bengal. And the Bengals will just be like, here's your contract. This is what the collective bargaining agreement says you have to accept. Here it is. We'll see you soon. And if you really do like as crawfish over Skyline Chili, as he told us the other day.
That's true.
Well, enjoy your crawfish because we'll go with Andy Dalton. And come on in.
For more of The Rich Eisen Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV for free on BR Live or download the Rich Eisen Show app.